New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ebro in the morning, Hot 97. Laura Styles,
Yes.
Wrestling Shirt Rosenberg, and the amazing Oscar De La Hoya.
The Golden Boy. Golden Boy.
All right.
Now, we can't have you on the show without the official announcement and correct pronunciation of your name, Laura Styles.
Thank you. Oscar De La Hoya
Yes,
is here.
ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar, we got to get right to this amazing fight you have lined up, Canelo Triple G.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's. I'm calling it 8 rounds of hell, man. We're gonna see.
Because they're both.
Oh yeah, they're both. They both guys don't know how to take a step going backwards, man. And they're knockout guys. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those throwback fights. Like
It's a dream fight.
It's a dream fight. It really is. I mean, look, talking about the Mayweather-McGregor fight, you know, that farce that I call it. I mean, you know, it's like
Tell me how you really feel.
I mean, but come on, guys.
Oscar, you went farther than that. You went farther than that.
Yeah,
you were pissed.
but I was pissed because look, I mean, Mayweather knows better than that. I mean, come on, Mayweather's one of the truest boxers, best boxers on the planet today that we've had in several years, and I respect that dearly, you know. But come on, knock the guy out in 2-3 rounds, man. I mean, you know, it's like don't carry him for like 10 rounds, you know. It's
okay. So let's have this discussion because I've had this discussion multiple times. Okay, do you believe at 40 years old, Mayweather still had gas in the tank to literally knock him out earlier?
Tyson said the other day in this room, Mike Tyson was here and said he doesn't think Floyd had really lost anything. He thinks Floyd was totally capable.
Well, you know what it is. What it is, and Hopkins will tell you. I mean, will confirm this. Is that when you take care of yourself, you know, when you don't drink, when you don't smoke, and you're an athlete, a fighter, you're gonna last. I mean, till you're 50 years old, like Hopkins. You know, so at 40 years old. Mayweather, who look, he loves going to his clubs, he loves going out, whatever, but he doesn't drink, so he's not abusing his body. He's an athlete, you know, so he can fight at the highest level for the next I don't know how many years. So could have he, you know, gone out there and knock out McGregor? Yeah, no problem. But look. When I saw an interview with, I think it was my boy from ESPN.
Which one?
Stephen A. And they're sitting side by side, and Mayweather's looking at Stephen A. and he's telling him, "Well, you know, I'm 40 years old and I don't think I can like go the distance anymore, and I'm feeling tired." I said to myself, "Oh, here we go."
Trying to draw people in.
Oh, come on. I mean, you know, and then he doesn't throw a punch for 4 rounds, you know? I mean, when do you see Mayweather not throw a punch in 4 rounds, you know?
But he said it. He wanted to deliver a more entertaining fight than the last one he did with Pacquiao. He said it.
He did. Well, he did. He drew us in that way.
I got a better one. So then he goes and bets on himself in the 10th round.
See, a lot of people didn't know this.
They didn't know that. I mean, I think the bookies didn't let him. You know, because you can't bet with yourself. You're like, you know.
You can bet for yourself to win, but not pick a round, correct?
Yeah, well, he picked the 10th round.
Right, which you can't do, okay.
And so, I mean, you know, the writing was on the wall. And look, I mean, that's why I said it was a farce. I mean, look.
Well, Oscar, can I read what you said?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You said, fuck you.
Oh, is that what I said? Oh, Jesus.
Mayweather versus McGregor, hashtag. Both of you are disrespecting the sport of boxing. Hashtag Canelo Triple G,
well,
September
there you go.
16th.
In all caps.
There you go.
All caps.
All caps, exactly. Well, look, this is a real fight coming up, man. This is a real fight. So everybody who loved who loved the action with Mayweather McGregor, I mean,
this is the real deal.
You want to talk about? I saw Triple G's last fight in New York,
right?
And it was not his best performance, by the way.
With Danny Jacobs,
yeah, it was Danny Jacobs.
Because Danny Jacobs is a real fighter.
Yeah, and it was an entertaining fight. And this Triple G, if you've never seen Triple G throw a punch, it looks like he has bricks in his gloves.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then Canelo, of course. The heart of a champion epitomizes the Mexican fighter who just puts his heart on the line.
It's gonna be brutal. That's why I say it's gonna be like 8 rounds of hell. I mean,
you don't
really
think it goes past it? You don't think it go past 8?
I don't know. I can't. I just can't see it. Maybe 8, 9, maybe 10.
Canelo has faced more veterans than Triple G at this
Right,
point.
more experience. Yes? More experience.
He's been in there with Mayweather.
Well, he went in there with Mayweather. He got outboxed. So obviously he learned. You grow from those type of experiences. So he's been in there with Cotto, who has experience, has a good pop in his punch. He's been in with guys who like Austin Trout, who can move, who are southpaw. So he has the experience. So you have Triple G, who's been in there with one guy who has the championship pedigree, like Daniel Jacobs, who I love. That guy's, he's amazing. His story's incredible.
Incredible. Beat cancer. Unbelievable guy.
Yeah. So then and he has trouble. He beats him, but he has trouble with him. Then now people think that he's invincible. Or he's not invincible, Triple G. Now he's like, people didn't think that Triple G was human. He's a robot. This guy's like knocking everybody out. So now it makes the fight very interesting because, people are now saying that Canelo has a shot at knocking him out and vice versa. Although Triple G's still favorite in this fight.
What are the odds right now?
Surprises me. It's like 3-1.
Okay, wow.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Just because of
just the relentlessness of Triple G and the power, and you gotta take a look at Canelo's footwork and the way he's been moving his head and boxing a little more. Don't get me wrong, it's gonna be a train wreck when they step inside the ring, but Canelo has a little bit of a waist movement. He can dodge punches a little better.
Now, I want to talk about the promotion of boxing, because I feel like boxing, whether we liked, because we definitely took large shits on the McGregor Mayweather fight leading into it.
The promotion, the press conferences.
Then the press conferences.
Yeah.
Then we discussed them being in cahoots. We even talked about, look, the joy of seeing somebody like a Conor McGregor get a big payday, right?
Right.
The asterisk next to Floyd's 50-0 with doing this sort of fight. We've talked about it from all different angles.
Right.
But we do have to admit that there is a level of interest around the sport, right?
Yeah,
now.
no, there is. Look, 4 million people, 4 million pay-per-view homes saw Mayweather McGregor. So that's obviously an opportunity, but how do you keep them? Like, see, what I don't like is that, how the Mayweather McGregor fight can attract those people for one night. Like, how do you keep those people over and over and over and over again? It's by making these types of fights. It's by making Canelo Triple G. I'm telling you, if Canelo Triple G doesn't deliver, I'll refund everybody's money. That's how confident I am. It's gonna be a great fight.
And do you and obviously the coverage and the promotion leading into this, which is your specialty and your team's specialty, we watched, I guess, kind of like the circus of the Mayweather McGregor. They milked it. They took over the Barclay and artists. They did this whole dog and pony show that was just out of this world, right?
That's like
even milking people. They got me with the racial stuff. As soon as Conor McGregor called him boy, I was like, this shit is bullshit.
Right.
He called him boy. I was like, yo, Mayweather, fuck him up, bro. Fuck him up. Like,
I hear you, man.
So how do you go about a normal promotion like that? You guys aren't going to go on a multi-city tour, but this fight does deserve over the next 2 weeks, and you're competing. Yeah. Let's be real, you're competing with the start of the NFL season, which is a beast too. So what do you do to make this thing stand out and get the casual fan?
Yeah, exactly, the casual fan
to be like, I need to see this fight.
Exactly. So look, we obviously we sold out in like 8 days. Barclays Center won't be empty. The T-Mobile Arena won't be empty like the Mayweather McGregor fight, which I heard sold like 13,000 seats.
Really?
We're gonna have like 22,000 people in there.
I did not know.
Jam-packed.
So wait, they didn't sell all the tickets to that?
No,
thing?
it didn't sell.
But they were ridiculously priced.
Yeah,
That's
they
why.
were.
They overpriced it from jump, right?
But they didn't sell it out.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it didn't sell out.
I heard you could get an MGM Grand room the night of the hotel for like $150.
Yeah,
I heard
no, exactly. Yeah, so it didn't sell out. Look.
But that kind of proves that it wasn't, that people knew it was a circus, right? That proves in some ways.
But people like the casual fan who doesn't know about boxing and the purity about fighting, and they got caught up with the whole circus.
Yeah.
And people love watching train wrecks. And you have Mayweather, who's probably the best at talking trash, and then you have McGregor, who outdid Mayweather in talking trash. People are gonna tune in, and I didn't see it, but apparently people were entertained. So hopefully that generates.
You didn't see it. You went full protest mode.
No, I didn't. Not that I didn't I protested, but I was actually promoting Miguel Cotto was fighting that.
That's right. I flipped to that fight
on HBO.
There was some great fights
on HBO. And look, I mean, we actually sold out. It was a 9,000 seat arena. We sold out in LA, and we had like 1 million viewers on HBO. So a lot of people watched pure boxing.
We were flipping back and forth.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people watched pure boxing, but there's tons of people out there who loved watching that McGregor Mayweather fight.
I want to ask you about someone who's not one of your fighters, a Bob Arum fighter, but what do you think about Lomachenko, and how special is that kid?
Yeah, he's a special talent. Yeah, no, he really is. Having only like 3 fights or 4 fights, already fighting for world titles. Special fighter. But then again, it's like nobody knows him.
I know. I tell you what, though, I do like Top Rank's deal that they have with ESPN. Yeah. I think it's that Pacquiao fight, the Jeff Horn Pacquiao fight, which is on free TV.
Right.
It got me excited. I sort of thought, and I'm curious for your thought as a rival promoter, what your thoughts are. I think putting big fights on free TV could be a really good boost for this game.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And we're heading towards that. We're heading towards that where boxing is going to once again be on the map. I mean, you go back to the old days, man, with Sugar Ray Robinson fighting, and even back to Jack Johnson. I mean, boxing was the sport. I think with like the heavyweights, for instance, like Anthony Joshua, who knocked out Klitschko. I think that's
great fight.
I think that's the beginning of the heavyweight division now.
Glad
so
you brought that up.
Boxing is just it's a roller coaster, and we're on the verge of having some great fights, and I think that it starts with Triple G versus Canelo. If that fight turns out the way I think it's going to turn out, like I said, 8 rounds of hell. I think people are going to be even more interested.
Would Golden Boy consider putting a marquee fight on free TV if you could get a deal that makes sense?
No, absolutely, yeah, a deal that makes sense. Absolutely. I mean, I strongly believe that's where we're heading towards, and. We feel that that's the only way you're gonna build these fighters and make boxing the sport, or make the sport.
And then
relevant.
You put it back on pay again once people are interested in the fighters potentially.
But you only put the meaningful fights on pay TV. You only have like maybe a handful on pay TV. A year. So I think we're headed towards that. As long as the best fight the best. That's the bottom line. The best have to fight the best, and that's what we have September 16th.
What do you feel now that you've seen? You said you didn't watch the McGregor Mayweather fight, but McGregor as a boxer, did you see any of the clips?
I saw a few of those funny clips, where he was like throwing some rabbit punches and hit him behind his back or something, And look. The problem that I have is that boxing is boxing and the UFC is UFC, The UFC fighters I respect them like there's no tomorrow. You have to, because anybody who steps inside the ring, you have to respect. I mean, it's a tough sport. But for instance, McGregor is the best at what he does, inside the octagon. The punches are different. They come from different angles.
Can you articulate that?
The footwork that we have inside a boxing ring is totally different than the footwork that the octagon fighters have. For instance, they're throwing flying punches like in the air. Like, we can't do that in boxing. We don't know how to do that. We're not trained for that. We're trained for all these years to throw special, unique punches from different angles, from certain angles, and that they're not trained for as well. So it's just 2 different sports, and so that's why McGregor looked so awkward in there.
It looked soft. It did not look like any punch that he landed mattered at all.
Because the power, the punch of the angle is not the correct one inside a boxing ring. You know, if he throws those wailing punches in the octagon, you know, with the elbows and the backhand and all that, he knocks somebody out. But in boxing, you can't do that.
Well, if you go back and watch McGregor's best knockouts, of which there's some like YouTube compilations, you'll notice a few of them, including the Aldo one, which is his best one.
Right.
They come off the back foot.
Exactly.
They're moving away.
Right.
Those punches do not knock out boxers.
No.
Boxers do not get knocked out if you're going away. No. It's impossible.
Exactly. It's impossible. I mean, we're such trained machines, you know, to go 12 hard, grueling rounds that a punch on your back foot, for instance, like, okay, so McGregor's a southpaw. He has his right hand forward, his left hand back. He's a southpaw, and his feet are non-conventional, you know. So if he's gonna throw up, so all those coming forward, right, and McGregor has to put all his weight on his left foot and then throw the punch. And then he knocks him out. I mean, that's going to work in the UFC because, you know, just for some reason it's going to work because they have smaller gloves, you know, and all those coming forward. In boxing, it's just not going to work.
That punch has
it
may
no
score,
power.
but that's it.
It has no power. It's going to score. It's going to maybe get you a little dizzy or something, but it's not going to knock you out.
Could you, most importantly, Oscar, could you beat Conor McGregor right now?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
How much time would you need to get in shape to beat
This
McGregor?
is bad.
If it didn't go more than 2 rounds, I would. Yeah, I would have a chance. I can't go more than 2 rounds, bro.
Okay, but in 6 minutes, you get him in the first 6 minutes, you're good. Beyond that,
well, I mean, in the boxing ring, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you ever go back and watch? I remember where I was for your big Mayweather fight. When you go back and watch that fight, I don't know if you ever do. Are there things that disappoint you that you see that you think you could have done differently to have gotten Mayweather?
Yeah, I should have just thrown more punches. Yeah, absolutely. I should have just thrown more punches.
Why didn't you? Why did that happen when you don't pull the trigger?
Well, what happens is when you're what was I, 38, or, you know, I was 38 years old. I had 2 rotator cuffs that were torn at the time. And, you know, I mean, when you abused your body like the way I did back in the day, you know, you're an old 38 years old. And so after like the 7th round, I was done. So if I could have done it over again, yeah, I mean, I would have fought him when I was 32, but Mayweather doesn't fight guys when he's 32.
Shots.
That is a big shot.
That is a big shot. I'm just saying, man. Come on, come on, brother.
Oscar, yo, you take shots at Mayweather a lot, though.
I like
you guys are taking shots at each other.
The only look. I mean, I don't take personal shots at him. You know, about his personal life. I refuse to do that. I don't take. I just take personal shots at him that. You know, because like, okay, let me ask you a question.
That was a great boxing shot.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So this Triple G and Canelo fight is coming up, right?
September 16th.
It's a 50-50 fight, right? I mean, it's
you don't know which way it's going.
You just don't know. I mean, it's like remember Thomas Hearns and Marvelous Marvin Hagler, or Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, 50-50. You know, 50-50. So my question is like, when was Mayweather in a 50-50 fight? I mean, if you can name one.
I mean, the closest people would probably say would be Pacquiao, but Pacquiao was well beyond his prime.
Well, where Mosley was over his prime.
Well
too.
past his prime.
Past his prime.
You were past your prime. I don't know if he hasn't had a 50-50 fight.
That's the thing. I mean, that's just been my critique. Is he the best boxer that we have? You know, in recent years, yes, yeah. I mean, by far, he's
Canelo was on.
He's
the
a
come
master.
Up. Canelo was on the come up when he saw
21. You know,
and
so it's like that's my question.
Cotto was where
he was. He was on the other side of it. He was just getting to the other side of it.
He just got knocked out by Pacquiao as well. So that's just my point. I mean, that's it. Look. It's because I'm a purist of boxing, man. I love boxing. I love boxing, and so, you know, so that's been my question. But as I like the guy. I mean, I like what he's doing for boxing with his promotion company and the way he's helping the young kids out and this and that. I love that. That's awesome.
But as a fighter, you don't, even though you respect his skills, it doesn't sound like you full on respect him as a fighter because you don't. No,
as a fighter I do. No, as a fighter I do because, like I said, anytime you step inside the ring or anybody, you have to respect.
But you think ultimately
but not. He's obviously not the best that's done it.
because he has not taken on the real challenges.
No. I mean, there's guy. I mean, top 10 best of all time. I think he would be.
Top 5?
Top 10. Because guys like Sugar Ray Robinson, and Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali and guys like that, I respect dearly because you look at their resume and who they fought and when they fought them. So it's just, I mean, it's comparing apples and oranges, but I just think that I just think that McGregor Mayweather was a farce. That's it.
And he never would have fought. He never.
You want me to read what you wrote again?
He never would have fought Triple G, right? That fight would have never happened.
Come on.
No chance.
Come on.
Because it could have happened at a catchweight, right? It would have been doable.
Come on.
Yeah, he didn't want that. That's what you're saying. Okay. I just want to be.
Other than Joshua,
Deontay Wilder.
Deontay.
I think that's gonna be a good fight.
When
it happens.
How does it? So, because I've asked people like, how does that? What are we waiting for right now? Like right now, what are we waiting for?
That's my question as well, man. Let's just do it. Anthony Joshua just crowned himself world champion. He wants to fight Deontay here in the States.
Which is smart for Joshua, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Jesus. I mean, boxing needs that shot in the arm. Boxing needs that continuation of just great fights, one after the other. That's exactly how we're going to get boxing back on the map.
And are you someone who, like, how does it work with Golden Boy or Mayweather or whoever gets to promote these fights? How does that, what are the inner workings of boxing and who can bring this together?
Yeah, no, well, these guys have, like, Joshua has his promoter in Europe.
Got it.
If they need a promoter here in the U.S., I'm right here. Just give me a holler.
Yeah.
I'm right here. I mean, there's nobody that does it better. I mean, we've been involved in the biggest fights in the history of the sport, and so we definitely can put this one together.
And is it maybe the hesitation is their names aren't household yet? Maybe they need more fights leading into them. It needs more of a buildup. Because I'm super excited for a heavyweight fight that means something.
Well, but look, I mean, you had 90,000 people in Europe, when they fought Joshua and Klitschko.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing, amazing fight. They televised it here on Showtime, I believe. It was great ratings. Just might as well bring them out here and just do it. Do it at the MGM. You'll have a full arena. People will get to see a great fight, and you build off that. You build off that momentum. It's like, I mean...
The question is, if I don't think Deontay Wilder's ready for Joshua. I think Joshua's much more polished. If Joshua blows through Wilder too early, where does he go next? Klitschko's now done. And then do you just have Joshua sitting atop this division? That's the thing. I think they might want Wilder to be a little bit more developed before he gets Joshua.
Well, but that's the problem. I mean, look, he has, what is he, 40-something-0 now, with 40-something knockouts.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more polish can you get?
I know, that's a very good point.
So it's time, man. Let's get these fights happening, and let's just do it, man. I mean, that's why. Look, September 16th. I know it's going to be a great fight. I know it's going to be hopefully it's a close fight. Hopefully it's like a back and forth, and then you do it again, because the demand will be there. As long as the demand is there and the people want to see a great fight, we're going to deliver, man.
Boxing has to deliver. Oscar De La Hoya, man, thank you for always coming on the program.
Always, brother.
Much
Thank
success to you. Stop cursing people out on Twitter, bro. Come on, man. Chill. Look at him. He's like, nah. Fuck that.
Fuck that. Fuck it.
Oscar De La Hoya,
September 16th, Triple G Canelo.